It's time for our Pet of the Week, and our vet is here to answer your questions. We welcome back Dr. Paul Welch from Forest Trails Animal Hospital. He has Susie with him today. She's a 4-year-old white and tan terrier mix. A terrier, she's probably mixed with a lot of things, but she's very calm and sweet. She looks like she wants to take a nap. Ah, look at that. We can let's just do this whole segment of just looking at her dozing off. That works. All right, well, if you want to adopt her, call the Animal Rescue Foundation at 622-5962 or visit their ARF house at LaFortune Park during the hours on your screen. You can also visit newson6.com/pet for other pets who need to be adopted. We have a few questions for you like we do every week, so let's get started. Can dogs get age spots? And if so, can they turn cancerous? I know a lot of dogs maybe get them on their stomachs. So.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see some pigment. You'll see kind of what I call it kind of like liver spots on people, you know, where they'll get brownish or blackish. That's not a problem at all. What you're looking for is something that's kind of raised and irritated and that sort of thing. But yeah, if it looks like you just took a magic marker and just rubbed on the skin and it's just colored that way, I don't worry about that at all. It's only if it's rough, raised, or something like that.
And they can get skin cancer type.
They can get skin cancer, right. But what's really funny is a lot of times you'll have these little pigmented areas, and if you take a picture of your dog and then a year later take a picture of your dog, you'll notice those pigmented areas will change location. So not something to worry about too much.
Okay, good. Next question. My 5-year-old Maltese sleeps 18 hours a day. I'm sure a lot of dogs do this. Is that normal?
I get a lot of the older dogs sleep longer than the younger dogs. You know, when you get up to those 12 and 13-year-old dogs, they sleep all day long. What I find on a lot of the middle-aged dogs is if there's nothing going on, the best way to kill time is to take a nap. And so that doesn't surprise me at all. Now, if we're sleeping all day long and we're a little overweight and that sort of thing, probably it'd be good to get out and, you know, take some walks and get moving like people. But generally speaking, that doesn't surprise me. If you're worried about it, sometimes you can have things like low thyroid that will make them a little lethargic. And if you've got a low thyroid problem, then that can be tested for very, very easily by your veterinarian.
Cool. All right, third question. This is one we haven't had in a while. This is a lizard question. I'm thinking about getting my first pet lizard. Is there a certain kind that is easier to take care of starting out? So somebody getting new into the lizard.
Yeah, I think the best starting point is bearded dragons. And bearded dragons, they're omnivores, so they eat bugs, you know, the crickets and dubias and mealworms and things like this, and they also eat veggies. So bearded dragons are wonderful. Get on the internet, check them out, look on some of the little care sites and see what they have to say about them. If you get one at one of the pet stores, don't get the itty bitty ones. Don't get the ones that are 2 inches long. They are really hard to get to adulthood. And getting them over the internet is a little chancy because you never know what you're going to get. But just check them out, take your time, get one that's a little bigger. But bearded dragons is a very, very good place to start. A little easier than iguanas or chameleons and some of those guys.
And probably the big thing, just do your research.
Do your research first. There's nothing worse than somebody coming in to me and saying, I've had them for 2 months. By the way, what do you feed them? That's always a little frustrating for me.
So. Not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all.
Dr. Paul Welch, thanks for joining us. You can email us your questions at noonshow@newson6.net. Thanks again for joining us.